guys, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are doing part 2 of the JET application form, and hopefully this is the last part. So last week we left at number 16, which is page 6. So today we are starting off with page 7, number 17. So today I decided that I won't be using a pen and a paper. I'll just focus on using a computer. So looking at number 17, they say intercultural or international experience at home or abroad. If you've ever studied abroad, then you will write the country and the purpose of your study and from which year to which year. But I know that most of us come from very humble beginnings, and going abroad with the JET program will be our first international trip. You can also write about international experiences or intercultural experiences that you've had at home. If you have a friend from university who was from Kenya, who was from Zimbabwe, then you can write about them. In my case, I wrote about a friend that I had, and he was from Germany. So country, I wrote Germany. Purpose, he was teaching me about Germany, the German etiquette, cooking German food for me. And from to, you can just write how long were you friends for. If you've been friends since 2018, you'll write from 2018 until now, or until 2019. It depends how long you've been friends for. And you can also write any international experience that you've had, or even intercultural experience that you've had. And we move on to number 18. They are talking about the language proficiency. First language, please write your first language. In my case, my first language is Sepedi, and I know that for some people their first language is Zulu, Tsonga, Shivenda, you name it, or even English. And then we move on to number B, 18B, other language proficiency. Evaluate your level and insert an X where appropriate. So let's say you know Zulu, then you will write Zulu. How is your Zulu? Is it excellent? Is it good? Is it fair? Or is it poor? Then you indicate with an X. Then we move on to English. How is your English? Is it good? Is it fair? Is it poor? Then you do that. But I don't think you would apply if you thought that your English was poor or fair. So choose either good or excellent. And how is your Tsonga? Is it good? Is it fair? Is it poor? Is it excellent? Do that. We move on to number 19, other activities. Honors, awards, or scholarships. If you've ever had an award, then you can write that. For those that are part of the International Gold Key Society, something, you know, for those smart kids, then you can write it here. But with me, unfortunately, I've never been part of that society. But I have a lot of awards in my name, so I wrote one of the awards here. And then extracurricular, volunteer activities, interest, hobbies, sports. If you've volunteered anywhere, you've gotten an award for being good at sports, or for any extracurricular, then you write that here. And in my case here, I once volunteered, and I wrote that I was a volunteer at this charity organization. Okay, are you applying for any other international exchange programs or scholarships? If you are, then you will tick yes or no. If maybe you are applying to also go and study abroad, then you will say yes. But in my case, I would just say you must just stick to no, because they want to be sure about you. What if they choose you and then next thing you're like, I cannot continue with the JET program because I got offered a scholarship to go and study in Germany? They want safe options. They want safe options, so be safe. Now we move on to number 21. Have you ever participated in the JET program? If your answer is yes, then you show with an X, and then you write your participation period. If you participated in 2022, then you write 2022. In 1998, you write that. Contracting organization, if you've ever been on JET, then you understand what contracting organization means. But if you've never taken any part in the JET program, you wouldn't know, and then it means that this question doesn't really concern you, because you will tick no. I have applied to the JET program. Years of application, blah blah blah. If you have ever applied to be on the JET program, then you will tick. And then I have withdrawn my intention of participating on the JET program after assignment of contracting organization. And if you have withdrawn, you will tick that you have withdrawn, and that is not going to look good for you, but it's not impossible. And then we move on to number 22, marital status. If you're single, you tick. If you're engaged, you tick. If you're married, you tick. Okay. Provide the following information if you plan to bring or live with a spouse or partner or children in Japan. Please fill in this information accurately as it is required for placement. In addition, please be aware that only spouses or partners and children with whom you have verifiable legal relationship can qualify as accompanying dependents. I've had a lot of questions regarding this. People saying, hello Kari, I'm not married, but I have kids with this woman and we haven't gotten to that point yet of getting married. Can I come with her to Japan? The answer is no. Only if you are legally married. If you have kids, if you're a woman and you have a child, yes, you can bring your child. But if you want to bring your boyfriend, unfortunately, you cannot. You need to be married in order to be able to bring someone with you. And if you're bringing someone, name of the person, you will write their name and their relationship to you. If it's child, you write child. You write their age and then you write their sex. JET applicant. I'm not sure what you're required to write here, so I'll leave that part. Okay, number 24, do you possess a full driving license? Participants with a full driving license may be required to operate a motor vehicle as part of their work duties. Please check no if you only possess a motorcycle license and do not have a full driving license. So please don't lie. If you don't have a driver's license, that's okay. It's not required for you to have a driver's license. So if you have a driver's license, they might place you in a prefecture or in a city where you are required to drive, and that will mean that you will be required to buy a car. I hope I don't scare you when I say you will be required to buy a car. Unlike in South Africa, cars in Japan are relatively cheap. Maybe I'm just saying this because I don't own a car in Japan, or I've never owned a car in my life. I don't even know how to drive. But yeah, from other ALTs, they told me that cars are not expensive here in Japan, and you can even rent a car. But don't worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Now we move on to number 25. JET participants are assigned to contracting organizations all over Japan. Please note that your placement may not align with your preferences. Okay, just a disclaimer, you may choose to be in Tokyo, but they might take you to a city closer to Tokyo or even further away. I don't know how they do that, but with me, I just said that I don't have any preference. Okay, now let's look for at number 25A, living area classification. So with me, I just said no preference. The reason why I said I don't have any preference is because I had never been to Japan before. This was my first international trip. I just prayed about it and I was like, God, just lead me, just put me where I am supposed to be. And then voila, I ended up in a nice city where I am genuinely happy, and I'm surrounded by loving people, a loving community, and a loving and healthy working environment. So number A, living area classification preference. You can, if you want to stay at an island, you can choose island. If you want to stay in the rural, you can choose rural. If you want to stay in a city, then you choose urban. City girls, we see you, so make the right decision. Island, I do not always recommend it because most people in the islands, they only speak Japanese. You might come here and realize that you don't have a community and you are not happy here, and it might be a problem. And one thing about your JET program, if they place you at a certain city and you are not happy, unfortunately you cannot ask to change. The only way you can be changed is if you serve your term and you go home and you reapply, and no one wants to do that. So make sure that you make the right decision when it comes to this. In the rural rural life, man. Where I'm from, it's considered as the rural. I'm just in Toyama, but I am in Toyama City. Toyama City also has other cities, and it's like when I say, okay, I stay in Pretoria and I live in Pretoria CBD, and some live in Mamelodi, in Soshanguve, in Atteridgeville, etc. And then here we have urban. That's where we have like your Sandton, you have your Rosebank and stuff. And then let's move on to number B, block, prefecture, designated city, preference. Okay, and now we have our paper. So here we have regions: Tohoku, Hokkaido, Kanto, Hokuriku, Chubu, Kinki or Kansai, Chugoku, Shikoku, Kyushu, and Okinawa, right? And then at the back we have Miyagi, Sendai, Osaka. So I'm not gonna go into detail here, but I want people at least to have an idea of what to do. Let me take a few minutes to show you the prefectures of Japan, and I'll come back to this. Okay, so now we are here. This is the map of Japan, okay? I am currently in Chubu. Chubu, we have Niigata, we have Toyama. I live in Toyama. We have Ishikawa. Ishikawa is nice. Kanazawa is nice. We have Fukui. Fukui is a rural area. We have Yamanashi. I haven't been to Yamanashi yet. We have Nagano. Nagano is nice, but it's also like a rural area. We have Gifu. Gifu is nice. I love Gifu. We have Shizuoka. I've never been there. And we have Nagoya. Nagoya is amazing. So if you are looking to stay closer to both Osaka and Tokyo, and you want a place that has a very low cost of living, I recommend that you choose Chubu. If you go to Niigata, I've never been there. If you come to Toyama, Toyama is not bad. We have Toyama City, where I live, is bad. I mean, it's good, unless if they take you to the rural Toyama. And then we have Ishikawa, which is Kanazawa. Kanazawa is great. We have Fukui. Fukui is the rural area, but they have Fukui City as well. It's a nice city. It's very quiet. So you know yourself, you know what you're looking for. And then we have Yamanashi. Yamanashi is closer to Tokyo. So I highly recommend this. And then now we move on to Kinki. Kansai. Kansai is where it's at. I don't want to lie. If I wasn't placed here, I'd definitely choose Kansai. Kansai is the life of Japan. We have Mie. We have Shiga, we have Kyoto, we have Osaka, we have Hyogo, we have Nara, and we have Wakayama. Mie is great. I've been there once, but it struck me as a very small area. We have Shiga. I feel like there isn't much to do in Shiga, but it's a nice city. We have Kyoto. Kyoto is amazing. We have Osaka. Oh, Osaka is cherry on top. Osaka is very nice. But people in Osaka do not get subsidy. So us here, people who live in Toyama, we get subsidized for our accommodation. So I think I pay around 4.5 or 5,000 for my accommodation, but I get almost 2,000 for the rent. So it means that my contracting organization pays some of my rent, and then I get to pay another remaining. But here, they do not get anything. Maybe it's because they are in the city, and accommodation in the city tends to be a bit expensive. But if you love the city, then this is for you. I recommend Kyoto or Osaka. Hyogo, it's Kobe. It's very nice. I have a friend that lived in Wakayama for a while and he loved it, but I have never been to Wakayama before. Hokkaido, I don't recommend Hokkaido. Hokkaido is very far from everything. When you have to go to Tokyo, you must take a flight. When you want to go to Osaka, you must take a flight, or you will take days traveling to the center. This is Hokkaido, this is Osaka. I do not recommend. And we have Tohoku. I don't know anything about Tohoku, but I have a few ALTs that live here. ALTs that are my friends. And then here we have Kanto, Ibaraki, we have Toshigi, we have Gunma, we have Saitama, we have Chiba, we have Tokyo, we have Kanagawa. It's nice here. Here it's nice, but the cost of living is very high. If you get placed in Tokyo, you will spend most of your salary paying accommodation. You won't have a life. I am here in Toyama. I am closer to Tokyo. I'm closer to Osaka. I'm closer to most important cities. If I want a city life, I can just leave on Friday and go there. But I get to save most of my salary. Or I get to use it, but I just don't spend it on rent. Okay, we have Saitama. I know people that, like, I know someone that is here, but I've never been there. I know Chiba. I have a friend that lived in Chiba for a while, but she was really depressed. She didn't like Chiba because it's so rural, and she ended up moving to Tokyo. Most people that live in Tokyo, they live in shared houses. They don't have like their own apartments, because if you find your own apartment, you will find that you don't have any money to save or even to go out and have fun. We have Kanagawa. I heard that Kanagawa is great. So if you want to be closer to Tokyo, I would recommend that you choose cities that are closer to Tokyo, so that maybe during the weekend you can just go and visit Tokyo. We have Shikoku. I have never been to Shikoku. I don't know what is happening, but I know a lady that stayed in Ehime and she really loved it. And then here it's Shikoku. I have no idea what's happening in Shikoku. And here we move on. We have in Shikoku, we have Totori, Shimane, Okayama, Hiroshima, and Yamaguchi. I've been to all these prefectures. I was traveling and then I passed by, and I would say that out of all these cities, the one that really captured my heart is Hiroshima. Hiroshima is great, but my friend that lives in Hiroshima, she is complaining that it's far from the city, it's far from Osaka, it's far from Tokyo. But Hiroshima is great, and it also has a rich culture and a rich history. Now we move on to Kyushu and Okinawa. Fukuoka is great. I've been to Fukuoka. If you wanna stay at a place that doesn't really get cold, then I recommend going to this prefecture. Fukuoka is great. It's a nice city. It's one of the other big cities in Japan, together with Tokyo, with Osaka, and with Nagoya. But it's kind of far from things. In order for you, because it's here on this orange thing, so in order for you to go to Tokyo, you need to fly to Tokyo. In order for you to go to Osaka, okay, you can get to Osaka, but it might cost quite a bit. It might cost an arm and a leg. We have Nagasaki. Nagasaki is amazing. I've been to Nagasaki, and I honestly wouldn't mind moving to Nagasaki, because I think I've had my fair share of Osaka. I've had my fair share of Tokyo. For me, Nagasaki is a city with fresh air. It's very nice. The people are nice. I haven't been to Kumamoto. I haven't been to Oita. I haven't been to Miyazaki. I haven't been to Kagoshima. And Okinawa, it's a tropical place. Most Japanese people, when they go to Okinawa, they are going for a holiday. It's highly recommended as a holiday, a tropical holiday destination. So I hope you will make the right decision. So here it doesn't get too cold, and then here I don't know what's happening, but Hiroshima is nice. And then in Kinki, it's amazing. It's so nice, and it doesn't get really cold. Here it gets extremely cold. You can experience all the 4 seasons, and it gets humid. That's where I'm at, but I really love it because we get subsidized. Together with this, with Kyushu, people in Kyushu, they also get subsidized. People in Chugoku, they also get subsidized. But here in Mie, there's no subsidy. Hokkaido, I do not recommend. And then number B, block, prefecture, designated city preference. So first choice, you will choose your first choice, you will write the code. Your second choice, you will write your code, and then the name, and then prefecture or designated city you will write, and then the reason why you want to go there. If maybe you want to stay in the city because of your mental health, you will tell us. You will tell them, not us. And so forth. Why am I acting like I'm the employer? Okay, using chat 5, please denote wara. Okay, so you've done that. See specific request for placement. Yeah, so your reasons, you can say medical reasons, or if you've got any family in Japan, you can write the reason why I want to go to Toyama is because I've got a friend in Toyama referring to me. Or maybe if you have a family, you can write that I've got family in Oita and I would love to go there so that I can get support. And if you you must just tell us if you want to go where it's really warm, then you can tell them that I want to go to a warm place because I get depressed during winter. That is a valid reason. Early arrival placement. If you are offered an early placement in or after April but before this designated summer arrival days, would you like to accept it? Then it's really up to you. If the answer is yes, you write yes. If the answer is no, you write no. But you must know, if you select yes, you must submit your criminal record and your certificate of health to the embassy or consulate general at the time you submit your application. It takes a very long time for you to get your criminal record check. So if you haven't yet applied for it, I would just say or advise that you choose no, because now if you send your documents incomplete, then unfortunately they won't consider you, because they will look at it as if you submitted an incomplete application. The time between receiving notice of your placement to departure is very short, only 1 month. Early arrival placements may be asked to depart anytime between 7 April to 26 July. Another advice, if you're doing your 3rd year and you're thinking of applying for the JET program, I do not recommend that you choose your early departure, because now your certificate of graduation won't be out or your degree won't be out, and now it's just gonna be a lot of admin. So yeah. And please note that the answer to this question will not influence the selection results. Answering yes and later withdrawing from early arrival placement will result in your disqualification. So please consider your response carefully. So if you're saying yes and later you find that your degree is not yet out and now you change, then you will be disqualified. Make the right decisions, okay? Now we move on to number 27. Where did you hear about us? Professor, placement office, former JET applicant or participant, current participant, embassy, consulate, anywhere. Tick where you have heard about the JET program. Okay, emergency contact information, full name. If your mother is your emergency contact, you write your mother, their full name, and then you write their address, their telephone number, email address, occupation, and their relationship to you, your mother, father, sibling, cousin, friend, whatever. I understand, certify that the above concerning myself and my background are true and accurate to the best of my knowledge, blah blah blah. Then date of application, you sign your date of application, and then your applicant's signature, you sign your signature, and voila, we are done. Congratulations. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I will come back next week and we will talk about the statement of purpose. Thank you so much for joining. Kindly like, comment, and subscribe.